If you enjoyed, be sure to give us... Whoops. Hey bananers, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today's video is brought to you by this little mini ring light that I have that may or may not be helping this video. You tell me, I don't know. I won't know until I go back and edit this. But as you read by the title, today's video is the 12, I've been calling it the 12-12-12 challenge. It's the 12 books recommended by 12 friends for the 12 months. And if you remember, I did a halfway mark back in June, probably. So, I'll link that up above. But this is the wrap up. This is what I read in the year of 2023. And the one, two. So I don't recall how deeply I went into these, but to do a quick recap of January through June, I read for January Secret Wars, February The Wife Upstairs, March was Where the Crawdads Sing, April was The Silent Patient, May was The Secret Life of Bees, and June was The Lovely Bones. Now, some of these recommendations did not come with trigger warnings, so that was nice. But anyway, for July through December, we are going to go into what I read for those months. July was one of the only ones that was not some kind of fiction or, made up story. It was Becoming by Michelle Obama. And those kinds of books are not usually my go-tos, but one of my good friends suggested it. And knowing her the way that I do, I gave it a shot, and I ended up liking the book, actually. Now I want to read Michelle Obama's other book, because I guess she has two. So that was actually a very good read. I genuinely enjoyed that one. August was the book that got me into Colleen Hoover, Reminders of Him. When I saw that someone, I don't remember who recommended what for everything, but someone had commented on my Facebook post, anything by Colleen Hoover, and I was like, okay. So I went to my local library. They only had 2 books at the time, and it was that and Verity, because the 3rd book was checked out, I later learned. So I was like, okay, Reminders of Him seems, decent, so I gave it a try. That book made me cry 4 times. 4 separate times I cried. Imagine being a parent and reading that. Like, oh my god, that had me crying. I'm a cat mom. Like, that had me crying. It was really good, and it actually got me into Colleen Hoover as an author. I read a few of her other pieces. I read Verity. I read It Ends With Us. And I haven't read anything past those 3, but I definitely want to. I actually liked Reminders of Him so much that I actually purchased my own copy. And it's sitting on my bookshelf over here. So I liked it that much. For September, we read Crank. And I, first of all, understand that is like adolescents, I think. Like very, very young readers that are like middle school probably. Secondly, I don't understand why, because it has a lot of heavy content. And I had a hard time getting through it as a 20-something-year-old. And you can tell who read that, because all of the mentally ill adults read that, apparently. But, no tea, no shade. Love y'all. But that one was interesting. October is my least favorite. October is my least favorite. And we read, and by we I mean me, I read Tender is the Flesh. And oh my gosh, was that a whirlwind of negative emotions. Okay, that one did not come with a trigger warning whatsoever. The only one that did come with a trigger warning was Crank. So, but that Tender is the Flesh did not come with a trigger warning. whatsoever. The person who recommended this book to me, I actually had a conversation with after reading it, and I'm like, girl, I use girl gender neutrally, by the way. I'm not 100% sure how this person identifies, but like gender neutral girl. You did that to me for what? And I was like, you had me read this, why? This is awful. Like, I get the parallels. I get the message. I get the story. I 100% get what the author is trying to convey. And the detail in the story was phenomenal, to the point where I was picturing what was going down. And it's so disturbing. The author did a great job writing this. I gotta give it to her. But, November. November was, believe it or not, a bit of a lighter read. And, I'm being a little sarcastic because November's pick was Pet Sematary. And if you don't know Pet Sematary, that one also should come with a trigger warning because obviously it deals with death. It deals with the death of loved ones. And including pets, obviously. But, yeah, that book was actually good. The movie from the late 80s, garbage. Garbage. But we're not talking about that. The book was good. The only issue that I had was the use of the R slur. Like Stephen King, let's do better. The use of the R slur and the use of the incorrect usage of one word when referring to indigenous people. So, yeah. The book was good, though. All of these books were better than Tenderness of Flesh, even Crank. But anyway, like, the Holy Bible would be considered better in my opinion. But the last one, the one that I actually really, really enjoyed is What Lies in the Woods. That was December's pick. Someone had commented that, and I was like, alright, cool. That was really good. It was, like, towards the end, like, within the last, like, few chapters, it was just plot twist after plot twist after plot twist. But they weren't plot twists that were, like, left field that made no sense. They were plot twists that made sense to the story, and you were actually, like, I personally was not expecting it. I was not expecting the things to happen. That did happen. Like, what? That one I will throw a trigger warning out for because it does deal with, there is mention of assault. It doesn't happen to our main character. Not that kind of assault. I will throw, there is statutory rape in this book. There is like a brief abuse of a child. There is attempted murder of the main character, and mental illness is a big part of it with one of the other characters. The other character's literal, like, personality trait is just boom, mentally ill. So, but I put a top 3 on my Facebook, and if I'm remembering correctly, I believe my top 3 were What Lies in the Woods, Reminders of Him, and The Wife Upstairs. Those 3 were my favorites. Least favorite is Tenderness of Flesh. And an honorable mention that I genuinely enjoyed was Becoming by Michelle Obama. And that is the wrap-up. I will probably put this, like, screenshot, like, on the screen somewhere so you can actually see all of the books. If you want to screenshot, totally do that. But my top 3, I highly recommend. If you've already seen some of the movies, I'm gonna say maybe don't even bother reading the books. I've never seen The Lovely Bones, but I don't need to after reading all that. Like, I'm good. If you've already seen Pet Sematary, though, I haven't seen the remake. I've seen the original. If you've seen the original, I'm going to still say read the book, because the book is better. The book has way more detail. But that is it, actually, for today's video. So if you enjoyed, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Become a bananner today. Join the bananner bunch. We would love to have you. If you want to know what I'm going to be up to, all my social media will be listed down below like always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!